Hi, today I'd like to talk about the Fantastic Four and what I think about the death of the Human Torch. Hickman as a writer, I think I'll start there. I think he's a horrible writer, and I think he's doing a bad job, to say the least, on the Fantastic Four, one of Marvel's flagship titles. And I've waited a while before saying anything. I've read a, I've read about a year's worth of issues, starting with 573. Where Johnny takes the Thing on a vacation and it turns into some horrible New World ordeal with Army of Ultrons, and it wasn't that good. And again, Valeria and Franklin tag along, and Valeria creates some sort of time thing to get them back to the other world. And again, this is another one of the very first issues where there are pages of just absolutely no dialogue at all. Franklin's sitting there with a sandwich, and he gives it to this guy. Oh, would you like part of my sandwich? And it's like a whole page. And in my book, that's not the world's greatest comic magazine. Then we get this one. This one is where my eyes really started to open up. And a lot of people had a problem with this particular episode, and I'll show you why. Right here. Right here. I don't know if you can see that. But it's Valeria and Franklin. It's his birthday, and Spider-Man's there. And he uses that word to describe Franklin, and it's Valeria. And then again at the end, she says it again to his older version self, because he comes through time to warn everybody about something. But he just wants to warn Valeria and Franklin. And it's lame. The artwork in this episode is completely horrible, by the way. Spider-Man's in it, and it's like reads off. It's just ridiculous. So this one was really horrible. So I saw that word, and I know that it's very offensive to a lot of people nowadays. A lot of words are now. We're in an age of political correctness where everybody has to say the right thing. And while maybe I don't always agree with that, I do think that there are some words that shouldn't be used, especially in comic books. And this was one of them. And I was curious to see what was going to happen. I was thinking, even as I read it, I was like, oh boy, here come the letters. Let's see what happens and how he deals with this. Well, then in the letters page, he addressed it basically by saying, hey, that's the way I write, and if you don't like it, don't read it. Which I thought was very lame. And, at the very least, he could have said, hey, I'm sorry if I offended anybody, I'll try to... He just came out and said, hey, I'll do what I want, whatever. Then this one came out. I'm not even going to comment on this episode. It's where Arcade, one of the X-Men's villains, comes in, and it was just just another waste of an issue. Now he's been trying to get these plot lines together, and again, there was one where they're underwater, and for like 3 pages, it's just all them pointing, and and now Reed Richards found a way into the negative zone. They cruise through the negative zone, constantly in contact with each other. He could be in the negative zone and still talk to them. So why can't they talk underwater? They have to wait until they get to these fish people, and they give them the shell. They go, oh, wow, I can talk now. In the old Fantastic Four, Reed would have been analyzing everything. He would have been telling everybody what was going on. He'd be like, oh, this is this, this is this. We got none of that. We just got, 3 pages of supposed wonderment, which was I just think, lazy writing. Which brings me to the Human Torch, and I think that's just Hickman can't handle the character, so he had to kill them all. Again, here's another example of this, oh wow, just pages of just pulse-pounding excitement that no words could possibly describe what's going on. It's just ridiculous. So the Fantastic Four has just really gone downhill. Now the Torch is dead for no good reason. Spider-Man's going to be in it. It's just another lame attempt, I guess, to drive sales up. Spider-Man's totally overexposed now, so that's my 2 cents. I'll come back to the Fantastic Four maybe a year and a half from now when they're on their reboot, Fantastic Four Classic or Fantastic Four Throwback, and I'll just come in there. I'm going to get a new creative team and a better artist, and hopefully restore the world's greatest comic magazine to its former glory. Oh, Doom? This guy's happy, though.
Bah! What does Doom know of happiness? The Human Torch, killed by insects. It should have been Doom. Doom! Hickman has done more to destroy the Fantastic Four than I ever could have dreamed of.
There's a bonus feature. So that's my homework. But hey, look, I'm like Reed Richards. Sue, no. Get down. Wait, hold on. That's another thing. I forgot to say. The Human Torch meets some girl at some club, brings her home to the Baxter Building, and then all of a sudden he goes to get drinks or something, and her skin like falls apart, and these insects come out of her, and I guess she's dead, but I don't know. They don't really say what happened to her. And then he fights these bugs, and then he never tells anybody. He doesn't tell anybody. Oh, by the way, I brought some girl home from a club, and these insects crawled out of her. Again, another example of just crappy writing and why the Fantastic Four is just horrible. It's horrible. It's unreadable. Off my list. Okay, back to you. Buddy? Buddy?